Shugo Chara, a magical girl anime and manga series that somehow became lost to time within the last decade. When you think of a great magical girl anime, what comes to mind? Sailor Moon, Cardcaptor Sakura, or even Madoka Magica. But why is Shugo Chara forgotten? It was one of the most popular shoujo anime on Crunchyroll during the late 2000s and early 2010s, and the manga was the fourth best-selling shoujo manga property and the 14th best overall manga property in America for the first quarter of 2009. Unfortunately, despite the early success of the series, it seems to have faded into obscurity. The series is about a girl named Amu Hinamori, who befriends and teams up with a group known as the Guardians at her school. Each of the Guardians have a Chara, which represent their would-be selves. The Charas are basically a representation of what each character aspires to be, whether it's based on the career they want to have later in life or a domineering personality trait inside of themselves that they might be too afraid to show the world. The Guardians are at odds with a sinister organization known as Easter, who are searching for a legendary egg known as the embryo, which has the power to grant any wish to whoever is in possession of it. Before a Chara is born, they exist inside of eggs, and due to the greed of the Easter organization, they are corrupting the eggs in order to find the embryo, and the Guardians must turn them back into the original Chara as the X-eggs corrupt the heart and soul of the person who possesses it. Shugo Chara has some great messages in it for children and teenagers about self-esteem, inner strength, and the power of friendship. Each character is diverse and interesting, and each of them go through unique struggles that help them grow throughout the series. Shugo Chara was one of the first anime and manga series I ever got invested in, and back when I watched it on Crunchyroll in 2009, I always hoped that someday we would get an English dub for the series. Among the fans, there were many concerns regarding an English dub for Shugo Chara. Fans were worried that it would get in the hands of 4Kids Entertainment, where the original intent of the story and characters might be watered down for Western audiences. I remember reading a YouTube comment back in the day that said how frustrating it would be if they changed the names of the characters to fit with English-speaking audiences. For example, changing the main character's name from Amu to Amy. Years passed without a plan for Western release, but myself and other fans of the series waited patiently once the anime officially ended in Japan. So did the English dub of Shugo Chara ever exist? There are some fans who claim that they have seen it, and that it does in fact exist. A Reddit post created approximately 3 years ago at the time of writing by user AnimeFan0071 claims to have watched the English dub on Canadian television in the early 2000s. So right off the bat, the years are way off as Shugo Chara originally came out in 2007. But let's see what this user had to say. So for a long time, I remember back in the early 2000s here in Canada, we used to have a small children's anime block. I might be crazy because I have a very vivid memory of Shugo Chara having a dub at the time, but when I talked to one of my friends, who's a bit older than me and has been watching anime since the 90s at least, doesn't recall it ever having one. The anime club that we were both in, no one recalls it either and can't find any info online about it. I remember it being on either before or after Tokyo Mew Mew and Hamtaro on YTV. Does anyone else remember watching this series dubbed on YTV, or am I really that crazy? I can recall a few things and haven't watched it subbed. Easiest thing to remember is a Neko guy who was evil, or the neutral, and that the main character had egg children that were all different colors. In response, Reddit user Raichu Doggy had this to say. Everyone I know that watched Shugo Chara, including me, watched it subbed on Crunchyroll between 2007 and 2009. My research suggests the English title for this show is My Guardian Characters, and then it aired in Canada from 2007 between 2008 and was rated G. It looks like it only aired the first season, and I'm not even sure how much of it or how different it is from the source material. So even though I can't find any major details whatsoever, you can rest easy. It did exist. After reading this comment, I searched for a Canadian show with that same title, but it ultimately led me back to the Shugo Chara Wikipedia page and other pages about the series. While this Reddit post might just be someone misremembering what they saw, there are others that also seem to recall an English dub of the series. I found a few posts on Twitter from confused users who remember watching the series in English as well. I find this really interesting, as it could be a possible Mandela effect, meaning that a Shugo Chara dub existed in another universe. If you believe in that, it would definitely explain why there's more than one person who remembers an English dub. But that's my tinfoil hat conspiracy for this video. It's more than likely that a few people are misremembering because it was a popular magical girl anime during its time and similar to other shows that do have an English dub. But what if I told you that an English dub for Shugo Chara was actually pitched back in 2009 by TV Tokyo? On the Lost Media Wiki, there is an article about the unconfirmed existence of a Shugo Chara English dub that was going to be made by TV Tokyo in 2009. According to the article, the series was pitched at the television convention NATPE, held in Las Vegas that year. 2 posters were created with an English logo with the title My Guardian Characters. The source of these images and the information come from a LiveJournal post from user Leah-sama back in January of 2009. Okay, I discovered this on Thursday afternoon after my dad came back from NATPE, a television convention in Las Vegas. Basically, they advertise TV shows that they want to be brought and aired in America. So he brought me back a poster. It had Amu on it with Ron, Miki, and Sue. I was kind of surprised at first, but something was off. If you can't read it, this is what the second picture says. Have you ever wished you had a different personality? You can make your wish come true with dream eggs. Guardian Characters is based on the euponymous manga series that is currently the most popular strip in Nakayoshi, a best-selling girls' comic magazine and one that also originally serialized Sailor Moon. With its transformations into cute costumes, breathtaking action scenes, and romance with fascinating characters, Guardian Characters grabs every schoolgirl who ever dreamt about her future. It's part of human nature to look for something that you don't have. Take Amu, a 4th grade transfer student who is considered a lone wolf. She's fashionably cool, tough, and independent. She's a girl that seems unapproachable both at home and at school. But it's just a role she's playing unconsciously and unwillingly. In fact, like most other girls, Amu's childish, timid, and romantic. Desperate to behave the way she really feels, one night she goes to bed praying for a miracle to happen. Next morning, she wakes up and finds 3 decorated eggs on her bed. Did she produce these herself? From that morning on, Amu is shocked to find herself starting to behave the way she feels. When each egg hatches, a little guardian character emerges to help Amu express her different selves. To Amu's further surprise, she is invited to join the pupils' council of the school. Amu discovers that the council, considered by many to be another world, is made up of students who all have eggs that are similar to hers. What on earth are they up to? Amu's adventure has just started. Yeah, so from what I can assume from this picture, these posters for Shugo Chara, renamed My Guardian Characters, are being handed out at the convention where people who buy and sell television shows go to buy TV shows for their station. I think this means that TV Tokyo is trying to get Shugo Chara licensed. Thoughts? A lot of the reactions from fans based on the comments are very mixed, with some excited to see the series debut overseas, with others skeptical of the handling of the story and characters. As for the original post, it's hard to say whether or not this claim is valid and that these posters are legitimate. When Google searching the images, no results came up apart from the Lost Media Wiki article. With good Photoshop skills, these images probably weren't that hard to fake, and a new logo could be created if the person was able to use the same font with the letters. I don't want to say that this person was faking it, but as of today, I can't say for sure whether these posters or the claim is real or fake. However, there is one piece of information that surfaced in 2022 that could confirm the existence of Shugo Chara's English dub. On July 31st, 2022, Twitter user Yui Senpai found the resume for voice actor Matthew Leonhardt and noticed that he had voiced the character of Ikuto in an English dub for Shugo Chara. Leonhardt has had various acting and voice acting credits, including roles in Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood and Eureka 7. According to the tweet, the anime was directed by Jack Murphy and aired on Animax Asia in 2012. Unfortunately, when searching for Shugo Chara along with Animax Asia, nothing of interest pops up. And this is where the search for the English dub of Shugo Chara comes to a disappointing close. As the Lost Media Wiki article states, the English dub's existence for Shugo Chara is still unconfirmed even after doing thorough research. As of writing, the existence of this dub may or may not be out there, but I imagine that if it does exist, it's not been seen by the public, even though there are a few fans who claim otherwise. It's possible there was a trailer for an English dub broadcasted on TV at some point, maybe on a kid's Canadian TV station back in the late 2000s. Regardless, I find all of the information surrounding this dub interesting, since there's nothing really that confirms or denies its existence. It's interesting how the voice credit was for 2012, given the posters for the English dub were from 2009. It makes me wonder if the dub took a really long time to make, or it was stuck in editing production hell. Either way, it's fascinating, and I hope we see more information pop up about it in the future. So what do you think? Do you think the English dub for Shugo Chara was in the works? Or do you think it was just a hoax? Please leave a comment down below telling me your thoughts, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos like this in the future. Thank you for watching. See ya!